Okay. Hi, sorry, my laptop went through 2 council meetings in the last 2 days and decided it doesn't want any more meetings today, so we're using my phone. There we go. Carol. Okay.
Good morning.
Morning, Phil.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
You have most of it.
Hmm.
There's a shelf for home history.
All right. I'm having a little Zoom problem here. Got several.
That's
Okay.
We're
Can you still hear me?
waiting on Tara.
I'm sorry?
I said we're still waiting on Tara.
Okay. Looks like I managed to sign in twice, but I guess that's okay. As long as I'm there once.
Turn it on.
And who is 007, the telephone number?
That's Leslie.
Okay. And who signed in as owner?
That's Alex.
Okay.
She owns this meeting.
Only appropriate.
Yes.
I own my dog mom coffee cup. That's all I own.
Okay. So I don't think I have any email from Tara saying that she's not going to join us. So we'll wait a few more minutes.
Yeah, I don't have, Leslie and I didn't receive anything from her either.
All right, let me try something here. All right, it's better. So I'm reluctant to get started since we're electing the new slate of trustee officers this time. In there's only 3 people who's are guaranteed to be on the board after the end of December. So it'd be nice if all 3 were here.
The other thing, we can always postpone doing the elections until January or even further out once the new, then we have a new library board member after the recruitments in the springtime. It might be, I was thinking about it, of course, after I'd written staff report and submitted it, but we may want to change when we do the appointment of officers to be in May or June, after the appointments of the new commission members, rather than in the fall after, because that time has changed. So
okay, so if we do that, is that something the Board of Trustees can vote on, or does that need to go to the City Council? Or
it's something the Board of Trustees can vote on. It's in the bylaws. So I can bring back an item in January to make that amendment to the bylaws to do the appointments of officers in May or June, depending on which the Board of Trustees would like. And by that time, we would also have a new board member if John and yourself, Phil, and Tara don't mind sticking it out as president, vice president, and treasurer, respectively, for a few more months.
Oh, okay. Well, I think that we probably need to get the meeting started, and we can discuss that in more detail after we start the meeting.
Very good.
So that we are in compliance.
Yes, official and in compliance.
Yep. So why don't we go ahead and do we'll have a call to order, and let's go ahead and have the roll call.
John Krischer.
Here.
Susan Murphy.
Here.
Bill Pardue.
Here.
Tara Tomei is absent. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, announcements from the trustees.
No, congratulations to Ashley.
So I just got a notice that my internet connection was unstable. I'll say that again. Any announcements from the trustees, John or Susan?
Congratulations to Ashley. She got her thing through City Council the other day, so she can hire some more people. And I made $186 at the market last week, and I won't be there the next 2 weeks, but I will be there on the 23rd.
Okay, great. Thank you. And John, do you have anything or?
No.
And since we're delaying the election, I have no, my announcements needs to be postponed. So, I mean, that's thanking you all for the last 2 years helping as president, but I'll defer that into the future. So announcements from the library director.
So as Susan mentioned on Monday at the council meeting, the council voted to expand the staffing that had previously been approved in the budget. So in fiscal year 21-22 budget, we were funded for 9.5 FTEs. Pre-pandemic, it was 13.5, and on Monday they voted to allocate 4 more FTEs to us, which will bring us to pre-pandemic levels. The trick now is getting the recruitments underway and getting people actually working here again. So we'll have 4 part-time library assistants starting this week. So we'll be working on the onboarding piece of it and then training starting next week. So I'm excited about that. And then we'll work on the other recruitments and get those through as quickly as we can. The other item that was on the council agenda that directly affects us is the board and commission term limits. They amended those and extended them out. And Councilmember Barron, if he hasn't already reached out to you, will be reaching out to all of the board and commission members to let them know what that extension is. So sit tight on that, but you guys have all been extended out. So.
Okay. So in the future, we have items come up on the city council agenda, rather than having to, some of us come in as the public. I think it'd be good for the library board to have a position, an official position from one of the city councils to present to the, or at least an input into it, into the decision process. So if we could try to get ahead of that if possible, that would be great. There's probably nothing right now, but it's really kind of funny when you're working for the city, yet you're making a public announcement at one of these boards where we should be having a unified position from the board of trustees. I think it's more powerful rather than just being coming as public, especially on a city funding thing where some of us are not city residents, so we don't bear the cost of these decisions. So anyway, I think I think for Susan and I, it's much easier if we do it as part of the board of trustees, because we're not city members. Anyway, so appreciate if we could look for that in the future. And any other announcements from the library director?
I do not have any other announcements.
Okay, thanks. And we don't foresee anything in the upcoming city council agendas for the next month or two that we need to consider at our next board meeting.
No. The next items that they will be considering that will affect the library board of trustees and will require some weigh-in will have to do with budget development. So maybe sometime later in the spring, and what is approved in the capital improvement plan for the council for projects and things like that. So be sure that comes back to you for informational purposes as soon as that is in draft form.
Okay, and can we just put a placeholder item in for February or March to discuss the budget and capital improvements so that we're well ahead of the city's budget formulation?
Yes.
Great, thanks. All right, so received a report from the Carmel Public Library Foundation on recent activities.
Yes, sure. Good morning, everyone. I am delighted to hear that that budget was passed. Ashley did a great job in rallying the troops. We had our board president, several board members. I know several other community members were there to voice their support. So we're really happy that that's going to come to fruition. And then we'll be instrumental as much as we can to support you in expediting the hires too, whatever the foundation can do. The holiday reception at the Cypress Inn went very well. It was a wonderful cross-section of current and past board members, library staff, and library community supporters. It's a lot of fun to see everyone there and have a good reason to gather again. So thanks to all of you for attending. And we had our 10th annual gingerbread fundraising event. And thanks to Carrie Tice and the Hofstas Hotel, we raised a little over $1,400, which was terrific, pretty much in line with what we did last year. So we had 60 houses and sold out again. So that seems to be a really fun tradition that's well embraced in the community. The annual campaign, Carmel Public Library, A Lifeline to Everything, was mailed recently and will be further published on electronic media and via constant contact and all that. And the Monterey County Gives campaign continues. We are at approximately $33,000, and it's a wonderful way to gain visibility as well in the community. With this campaign, we're raising funds for additional technology so that we can provide access to everyone with a hybrid of online and in-person experience with each of the programs that we're doing. And this campaign ends December 31st. And usually there's about a 10 to 20% match that we receive. So we encourage everyone to donate to that campaign. In terms of board development, we are seeking additional board members, so please forward any potential candidates. Those with financial expertise or a strong philanthropic community network would be beneficial, and of course, an affinity for our library. Our program, Meet the Stars in Space at the Carmel High School Performing Arts Center, marked the relaunch of our partnership with Carmel Unified School District. They have a new superintendent who we've reached out to. And so we're really excited about that partnership, as are they. And we look forward to planning some new programs with them next calendar year. That program was really, I have to say, if anyone saw that, really engaging. And it is also, all of these programs are being recorded and they can be seen and accessed online on our website. Our fireside chat is the California Dream Dead, was also very stimulating. And it was great because we were able to do that at the library, and it was really nice to be in the reading room again. Next Wednesday is December 15th, and that will be the Henry Miller Talk, our local history talk, and we hope to see everybody there. I'm sure that will be provocative and fun. So we also have a fabulous lineup for 2022, so please check our website, and you can also subscribe to that as well. And then as far as our annual event, we did, I made the announcement at the reception, but we are very excited to share. We will be doing the Futurist Edition with Dr. Parag Khanna. He's coming from Singapore. He's a geopolitical strategic futurist, and he'll be our guest speaker. We are pursuing sponsorships and developing marketing materials at this time for this event. And we're also contacting local educational institutions to see how we can partner with this speaker and topic since it's so relevant. And that's all I have. Does anyone have any questions?
Doesn't look like there's any. I'd just like to say thank the board and for they're very proactive in pushing things, and we appreciate that, the Library Foundation, and also in your efforts in making that happen and facilitating to support the library. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Do you get a chance to print out a new schedule for the talk with the new dates and stuff on it?
Yeah, we are in the process of printing that, and we've been sending many emails, and so at the risk of bombarding our constituents too much, we didn't send out that flyer program, but we do have the physical flyer, and that's been printed, and we can get that to you. Anita has that now.
I don't need it till the 23rd, but then I'll put it out on the table that we have at Market.
I'll grab some from Anita the next time I see her and make sure they're in Susan's box.
Thank you so much. But that's actually a very good idea, Susan, to actually send out the schedule.
Right, because I know it's changed to some extent, so it would be a good idea.
Thank you.
Okay. We're on to item 2, approval of the minutes for October 27th, 2021. John or Susan, do you see any changes that need to be made, or do they look good?
They look good.
Okay. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes?
I move we approve the minutes.
And John, can you second it?
I'll second it.
Okay. We have if we get a vote on the approval of the minutes for October 27th, 2021, the motion is to approve them.
John Krischer,
Yes.
Susan Murphy,
Yes.
Bill Pardue.
Yes.
Approved. Thank you.
All right, we have the received the librarian's report for October 2021.
So I don't have any major big announcements with this. We're holding steady with our circulation statistics, as well as our electronic checkouts. Despite the limited hours, people are using the library, which is terrific. One item for maybe Phil's benefit, if you remember, Niels Ramers, who was a former board member, was always concerned about circulation of magazines. We're seeing a big bump in circulation of magazines, and partly it's because we have been allowing the latest issue to circulate rather than keeping that in-house, which is, I think, what was happening, which was people were reading the magazines in-house and we weren't seeing that use reflected in the circulation statistics. So now we are seeing people take out magazines. But other than that, we're holding pretty steady with our circulation numbers at this point in time. As well as reference questions. And I'm hoping once we have a few more bodies in the building, we'll be able to take a look at programming, specifically getting the children's programming up and running again when we figure out logistically the safest way to do that.
Okay, so the how is there any we keep going through these different waves of the pandemic and things like that, and fortunately each wave, at least for our area, seems to be less than the previous one, which is great. But what are you all thinking about being able to open up the library more? I mean, is it the hiring of the people, or is it the health situation, or how's that looking to you?
It is the hiring of the people. So with the number of people that we have, and I have modeled this out on our spreadsheets with our calendars. We just don't have enough people right now to expand the hours. It's one of those things where, if somebody's out on vacation, which has been pre-approved, and then we've got one person that's sick, then we'd have to shut operations down because we've operated with 3 people and limped along. But again, it's not great. And any more people out than that, we can't have the buildings open. So as soon as we get some more bodies in, we will start to expand the hours and hopefully be open in both buildings simultaneously like we used to be, because that's another thing that's confusing people. So
okay, yeah. Sounds good. All right, Susan, John, any questions on the librarian's report?
No, I'm just be happy when it's open more hours so people can really use it.
So we will be very happy as well.
Okay, if we could, let's see, receive the treasurer's report and approve the, receive the treasurer's report first. And then once we do that, we need to approve the check register for August, September, and October.
Okay, I think I'll give you the report here. On the good side, we're $13,507 under budget. A lot of things that make that possible are we're down on COVID supplies. There's a lot less usage on the e-resources like ebooks, and Hoopla are down. And there's a lot of things. I think maybe when things open up more, we may have to hire new employees. We may use more of our budget for training, computers, and things like that. But right now, everything looks really good. We're looking good everywhere. There's nothing with really any real issues at all.
Okay, so we may want to do, let's watch it through the year. And at some point, like last year, we were running enough of a surplus. We let the Library Foundation keep one of their installments to us and allowed them to invest it within and grow for the future. We may want to watch that, and work with Alex going forward to see if that's appropriate.
The thing that may change a little bit is right now we're not spending money on the programs that we have for the youth and the kids programs. So that may change a little bit. And with the use of the library, our maintenance may go up. But other than that, if we keep going the way we're going right now, we may be able to do what you say, forgo a payment.
Right. Well, in the past, we've run a surplus in the 4 years I've been part of the Board of Trustees. In the first 3 years, we didn't think of just working with the Library Foundation on what the best use of it was. We just put it into our LAIF funds at the end of the year. That may not be the best thing going forward, in that we just need to look at as we go and just see how much the surplus is going to be. And as we ramp back up, we may spend more this year, as you point out, but we just need to be open just in case we have that opportunity.
Very good.
I'll keep an eye on it and see if anything changes.
Okay.
And let you know.
Sounds great.
I do anticipate that we'll have more spending and then at the start of the next calendar year, with some of the changes we'll be making regarding computers and catalog station self-check machines. Some things that I've had the bandwidth to tackle in this part of the fiscal year. So you will see an increase in spending in terms of equipment coming up.
Good. All right. John, I don't want to derail you. Anything else on the budget?
No, not all. I wanted to ask one question. I tried to follow Don's report he gives to you, and I just want to know if it's all right with you. I put on the side a little reasons why some things may be a little bit different. So trying to, if it's good or you want me to change some things, I appreciate. I'm learning on the fly here.
Yeah, I'm fine. I think it's just, as long as we come up with something and we keep with it, it's good. We had one that we were using for quite a few years, and Tara and I could go through that fairly quickly and see what and read it. And then it was changed, and this one's fine too. And I think that the putting the notes by the side is very helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
It goes. Okay. Susan, any comments, questions?
No?
All right. So any questions on the check register or anything you want to highlight there?
Nothing. I don't have anything to highlight. I don't know if John does, but it's all routine spending at this point.
It's all routine. And one thing, Leslie helped me out with one question I had on one check, and she explained it to me, and everything looked fine to me.
Okay. Good. All right. If we could have a, let me get back up to the, sorry. Okay. If I could get a motion to approve the check register for August, September, October 2021.
I move. Okay.
And I'll second it. And so if we could have a roll call to approve the check register for August, September, and October 2021.
John Krischer,
Yes.
Susan Murphy,
Yes.
Bill Pardue.
Yes.
Approved. Thank you.
All right. So we have consideration of the adoption of the meeting calendar for 2022.
Yes. So each year in December, the Board of Trustees takes a look at the meeting calendar for the next calendar year and adopts dates for their regular meetings. The reason for this is sometimes we do have conflicts with things like Car Week or holidays. In particular, for this board, it's the Thanksgiving and Christmas holiday, which run very close to our meetings, if not, they're actually on the holiday themselves. Usually, in past years, the Board of Trustees has adopted a special meeting in the month of December, in the first week of December. That's like the meeting that we're having today. And so we've attached the proposed meeting date calendar as well as just the regular calendar to help us visualize. My recommendation would be to just pick December the 7th or the 14th for an alternate meeting day for a combined November-December meeting. But other than that, our normal calendar is not affected by holidays or car week or anything like that.
I think that's a good idea. I'd like to do it on the 7th if that's possible. Do you need a motion for that?
I think the 7th is great. John, do you have any?
No, it's fine with me. Sounds great.
Okay, go ahead.
Do you want me to make a motion then?
Make a motion and then to combine the November and December on the 7th. That'd be great.
I move that we combine the November-December meeting and make it on the 7th of December.
And I'll second that.
Okay, if we could get a vote to accept the 2022 calendar as given with the change of combining the November and December dates to the 7th of December.
John Christian,
Yes.
Susan Murphy,
Yes.
Bill Pardue.
Yes.
Approved. Thank you.
All right. The annual election of the 2022 board members. We've just to recap, it looks like the City Council has extended the board membership this year and is moving to what are we going to do here? Ashley, we're going to so the board is now picking members after the first of the year?
That would be my recommendation, is later in the spring. So now that the appointment of officers has been moved to recruitments in March rather than August and September, with terms expiring April 30th, I think it would be good if we moved the annual appointment of officers to May or June in the spring once the new appointments have happened. That would mirror it flip-flop things from the way they are now into the spring rather than the fall. So I would recommend continuing this item and directing staff to come back with an amendment to the bylaws for when these appointments would take place in the future.
Okay, and I think that if you did it in June, that'd allow the treasurer to do the closeout, the turnover closeout when they do it right at the end of the fiscal year and the beginning of the next one. So that would be a benefit to the treasurer when that happens. Yep. Okay. Sounds good. So we'll continue that and you'll come back with a recommendation.
Yes.
Right. And Phil, I do go to the Library Foundation meeting. So if you can't make it, I'm always there. Okay. Yep.
Sounds good. I try to be there unless I'm out of town.
Right.
Try to go. Okay. Thank you, Susan. So we're now down to item number 7, which is consideration of a request for a fiscal year 2021-2022 budget adjustment in the amount of $2,500 to improve self-signage of both library buildings.
Yes, so speaking of spending money, we've been experimenting with signage actually pretty much throughout COVID to see what people respond to and read. And then we had some inspiration from the Pacific Grove Public Library who just completed their renovation. We had been talking about new signage at the main that was very similar to what is included in your packet as an attachment. But then the pandemic hit and we weren't able to pursue that. We did do, if you've been in the library, we have taken down a lot of signage that was there. Some of it just blended in with the shelves. So if you were upstairs in fiction, for instance, all of the signage was on those dark shelves in black. And there were probably about 50 million arrows pointing all different directions up there. So So we pulled a lot of things down, and we've been paying attention to subject headings that are frequently requested in both the kids building and in the adult building to do better wayfinding. And so these signs that you have as an attachment, I think will work really well for us. You can, of course, have different colors, but they are very visible. And the other great thing about them is that they can move with the collection. We do shelf shifting often, and so having fixed locations for signage is often a challenge. The other great thing about this is that rather than end cap shelving, is that you can see where you're headed as you go down the aisles. We had at one point purchased some signage to go up above the top of the shelves that would dangle down. But in places like nonfiction at the main library, it's just the ceilings are too low. And for somebody like myself, who's not a tall person, I'm not generally inclined to look up. So we were trying to figure out the best way to do this. And these signs have been unanimously agreed upon by the library staff in terms of visual clarity and the fact that they can move with the collections. And so we're requesting a budget adjustment in light of the fact that, one, we're under budget, but also the Friends of the Library donated $20,000 to us this year rather than the $15,000 that we were anticipating from the book sale. So thanks to the Friends. And that is all I have on this item.
Okay. John and Susan, any questions?
No, you need another motion?
Well, I'd like to let John say something. And
I think it's a good idea because I use the library quite a bit. And it is what she's talking about, the arrows going every which way. Make things a little bit simpler would be better for me.
Okay. Alex, what do you think?
I am remiss in viewing the signage aesthetics, so I cannot comment. I would only say that I will look at it as soon as the meeting is over, and that, you know, I know that we are in a lot of transition. The library's been closed. We are focused on staff. We are looking at the aesthetics of the library, and especially, you know, now that we're having more programs there and we'll be open to the public more. So, I mean, I do have some thoughts about it, but I can share, you know, offline and when we get to that place. But thank you for asking.
Okay. So if we can get a motion to approve the request.
I'll motion that we approve it.
Okay.
I second it.
All right. Can we get a roll call to approve the budget adjustment in the amount of $2,500 to improve the self-signage of both library buildings?
John Krischer,
Yes.
Susan Murphy,
Yes.
Bill Pardue.
Yes.
Approved. Thank you.
Okay, so that's it for the orders of business. For the future agenda items, in addition to just looking ahead to see what we need to discuss early to have an input into the city council meetings when they're considering library related issues. You know, having if we have thoughts on how to improve the signage and make the library more inviting going forward. And it sounds like that Alex has some ideas, and maybe the Library Foundation does, as well as the board members. We should consider that as a future agenda item, whether it's in January or February, to look at that. I think that I think to Alex's point that the library is going through a lot of change, and we are getting ready to open back up. So now is really the time to take advantage of that, to roll out whatever the next version of the library is going to be, organizationally and aesthetically inside, signage, things like that.
Very good. Okay, I've got it noted for future agenda items, alongside the update to the bylaws and the continuance of election of officers.
And for John and Susan, are there any future agenda items we should?
I think the idea you came up with, that when the council's talking about something that involves the library, the board as a whole should make a statement rather than an individual person.
Right.
I agree 100% with you on that one.
And I would also like to harness the, or work in tandem with the Library Foundation also. They tend to have a meeting the week before ours, typically. And so, if we can get out there and then let the Library Foundation know what our drumbeat is on this, then, it allows them to have an input into us, and then we can provide an input. And that is not to prevent the Library Foundation from going on like they did yesterday and as the City Council, but just trying to make sure that we're unified where we agree, which we do on most things, and that we're able to articulate the needs of the library to the City Council for their consideration, informed consideration. And Alex, is there anything we should be future agenda items that we should be thinking about that are important to the Library Foundation?
I think so, but I think, as mentioned, we can look at those and review those together in the near future. Right,
and this is you on things that the Library Foundation would like us to consider, just making sure it gets into the agenda. All right. Is there anything else? All right. Well, thank you very much. We'll adjourn now, and we'll meet again in January. Okay.
Bye, everybody. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you so much.